next year. Let's talk about the men. Let's do the same thing with the men. But I think it's a bit more debatable who the favorite is. I think you can make a case for at least two people. And I'm gonna go counter what most people would say. I don't think Kenenisa Bekele is the favorite. I do not think Kenenisa Bekele is the favorite, despite running 201, despite all of his gold medals. He was third in Berlin, which was fine, but it was not a great race for him. We know he has issues getting to the start line and getting to the finish line. So I think the favorite's actually Nagy of the Netherlands, whose PB is 4.5 minutes slower than Bekele 206.17, but just medaled in the Olympics. And I think he has a good profile for someone who wins this type of race, championship type runner, silver medalist behind Kipchoge. As my buddy Jason says, that's actually like winning gold. If you finish behind Kipchoge in the Olympics, you should just get a gold medal as well too. You probably could have extended the same thing for Bolt or Rudisha during their careers. It's just like you get an extra medal. But I'm saying I think Nagy is the favorite over Bekele. What do you think?
Yeah, so Bekele is obviously a very interesting figure. He is the ultimate hot and cold athlete in the marathon. You,
Mhm.
the guy has run 201.41. Um, but at the same time, he has a DNFs. He can be expected to destroy the field, and he falls back and finishes fifth. He was only third in Berlin in a race that he probably could have won. So
Yeah.
he's the only one coming off of like a hard. I mean, I guess you could
Fall
argue
marathon.
Abdi ran the Olympics, so that's a little bit of a double. But Berlin is a lot closer to New York than the Olympics. So yeah, I
Yes.
you know what? I'm never gonna pick Bekele because I'll just let him always surprise me. But I'm never gonna
Mhm.
go in on putting money on Bekele because I know I'm bound to get a DNF. I'm bound to get a bad performance, and I'm willing to risk that to risk getting you know seeing him win as opposed to like going all in and thinking he's going to win. So I don't think Bekele's a
Yeah.
favorite either. I agree with you. I think I'm more excited though to see Kipwalk Candy making
Mhm.
a debut. He's 25 years old. He's run 57:32. Freaking crazy and a half. I mean,
World record holder. He's going to be looking at the
that's yeah,
pack saying, "Why are we running so slowly?" Like, do you think he's ever run this slow? Especially if it goes out tactically, he's going to be so confused.
yeah. He's gonna be like like on the shoulder of the athletes, like trying to push them, and the other athlete,
Yeah.
what are you doing, man? He's gonna be running like the freshman at high school cross country practice on the first week when they're trying to push the pace on the easy run.
Yeah.
He's gonna be that guy. Hey guys, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Well,
are
they're
you
going
going
to
out
go
so
out.
slow?
If they go out in 65, he's going out 8 minutes slower than his half marathon PB. It's quite a bit slower. It's That's gonna feel like he's walking out there. The thing that worries me about him, obviously, number one, the half marathon doesn't always translate to the full. But he mentioned at the press conference having some sort of injury issue in the buildup. And my rule is if they mention it at the press conference, it's probably a big deal because usually they don't mention anything, and then afterwards they say my calf, my knee, my shin, my quad, my hamstring, I had this issue. So if they're mentioning it at the press conference, it makes me a bit concerned. But he's gonna have a lot of time to think in his first marathon here. He's interesting. I put him in the contender category, but this race isn't that deep, which is why Bekele should win this race. I'm not saying he's the favorite, but just from the perspective of if 201.41 back in 2019, still talked about as a main rival to Kipchoge as late as last year before he scratched. It's such a winnable race for him. Again, I would pick Nagy, but because you go past Candy, and then who else do you have? You have Gurme Gebrselassie, who's won this race before, but hasn't really done anything since 2016. You have some inexperienced guys like Choge in the marathon who hasn't finished a marathon ever. You got some 207, 208 people, some other debutantes there. There's no clear other group of people here to challenge. So if it's not Bekele or Nagy or Candy, it's going to be a real big surprise who wins. So those guys need to take advantage of it. This is We talked about Rupp. How many opportunities does he have to win majors? This is Bekele's best chance to win another major. Right here. This is it. And it's coming, oddly enough for him, it's coming after running another marathon major. And the big issue throughout his marathon career has been consistency and durability. So it would be quite ironic if this is the major where he really delivers. But I don't think it's ever going to get easier for Bekele to win a major. This is it with the field spread out. I know next year London's going to be in the fall as well too, so it'll be split even more. But by then he'll be 40 years old. I think this is it. This is his best chance for one more major.
I mean, let's just be honest. The best chance to win a major is a major without Kipchoge, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
uh, all these majors that we've had all fall long from Chicago, Boston, New York, Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
they've London. They've all been opportunities for these male athletes because hey, Kipchoge, he's chilling at home with his gold medal. Let's go win some prize money.
He's
But
running,
yeah,
not
I
chilling at home.
think
He's running on the Champs Elysees on the other side of the
uh,
road from everybody else passing
true,
people, ruining dreams.
true, true. I agree with you on the top three: Bekele, Nagai, and Candy. First of all, before we get into the men, Kibiwak Candy, greatest marathon name out there.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
100%.
I
Yeah,
think
not
he's.
close.
I just wish there was like a Kibiwak Candy and NCAA cross country because that would freaking awesome. Like Kibiwak
Yeah,
Candy from like Arkansas, you'd be like perfect. Anyway,
yeah,
let's talk a
yeah.
little bit about the U.S. men. So before we talk about it, the U.S. men, what is the time they need to run or place they need to get?
For Worlds?
Yeah.
Okay, so to qualify for
So
Worlds, they would need to finish better than seventh. If they run seventh, then they need to run faster than what Colin Benny did in Boston. And in Boston, Colin Benny ran. Let me look this up 1 second. 2:11:26.
okay.